What's going on, everybody? It's Aurora coming at you with a brand new video, and it seems like Visas just keeps on getting new things. From the stuff in Duelist Nexus and now this stuff in Age of Overlord, I honestly don't know how long they plan to keep the Visas lore going on for. I don't think it'll be as long as the branded lore, but I mean, hey, it might just take me by surprise. But again, this is the new stuff coming out of Age of Overlord. I decided I'm going to cover it tonight instead of waiting until tomorrow morning when I'm tired. I'm going to be tired anyway tomorrow morning, but regardless, let's go ahead and get right into this. It says, Vita invades Visas lore cards from Age of Overlord. The Visas cycle continues. So this is Vita Samsara, is a light fairy tuner effect level 4 with 1500 attack and 2100 defense, so you can use it for things like Vicious Astrolabe, and it says you can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. Its name becomes Visa Starfrost while on the field or in the graveyard. You can target any number of your Visas monsters that are banished on your field and or in your graveyard, shuffle them into the deck, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, it gains 400 attack for each monster with different names shuffled by this effect, and if this card you would control would be treated, or you can treat it as a non-tuner if you were to use it as Synchro tier basically on the field. So this seems like it would be really good in both Scareclaw and Mannadium, at least as a one-of, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can search this off of the new Synchro. I don't remember, what does the new Synchro do again? Okay, no, you can add a spell or trap that mentions Visa Starfrost off the new one, but still, you can shuffle back the new Synchro in order to special this guy, which can help you go into it again, or you can go into a different Synchro play because the Synchro pool is just full of awesome toolbox cards. Plus, it can be a tuner or a non-tuner, so you can use it alongside Visas in order to go into a level 10. It can also be really good for something like Mannadium Prime Heart. Overall, this seems like a pretty solid card. Next up is the card that everyone was hyping from the appearance alone. This is Vita Upanishad? I don't know how to say that. I'm just going to call it Vita. It is a Dark Warrior Pendulum with scale 0 with level 12 and 0 attack and 4000 defense, and its Pendulum effect says once per chain, if you destroy an opponent's monster or monsters, place 3 counters on this card. Its scale is increased by the numbers of counters on it, and you can remove 12 counters from it to special summon it. Its monster effect says it cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned by its own Pendulum effect, and you can only special Vita once per turn. Once per turn, if your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck, you can banish 12 cards from your hand, field, and or graveyard face down. It becomes the end phase of this turn. And once per turn during your standby phase, return this card to the hand, then you can special summon one of your Vita monsters that is banished or in your hand, deck, or graveyard. I see, so in favor of anything actually useful, we're given a really funny, gimmicky, like, turn ender. Look, it's cute, don't get me wrong, and to see a Visa's Pendulum is pretty neat, especially after Branded got literally none. But I don't really see this being used, like, ever. I mean, maybe as either a certain bridge for something, I don't know, like maybe an engine involving a Vita thing has a bridge, I don't fucking know. Or for some really weird gimmicky FTK that someone is absolutely going to try to make using a loop. Next up is Mannadium trila-sukta? What? Trila-sukta? I'm gonna call it trila-sukta. In fact, fuck it, I'm calling this Kid Kalos, because it's literally just Kid Kalos with armor. So there's a light fairy synchro tuner with level 6 with 2000 attack and 1200 defense. It requires 1 tuner and 1 or more non-tuners, and you can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn. If it's synchro summoned, you can target 1 level 2 tuner in your graveyard, special summon it, but its effects are negated. You can target any number of tuners you control, their levels become 2. Also, you cannot special from the extra deck for the rest of this turn except synchro monsters. So I guess the basic idea is to use one of the little orbs in like a Rum Heart or something, or the new Samsara to go into this, revive something, and then go into the other Visa Synchro. I guess it's actually not that bad now that I think about it. I don't know what I was thinking before, but other than that, I thought the first thing that came to mind with this was like Hyper Librarian stuff, because you can just keep climbing. But no, this is actually a really good card for getting access to the Visa Synchro. That's actually pretty nice. Next up, starting with the spells, we have Planetary Elegy. It is a normal spell that says you can only use the second effect of it once per turn. Add 1 Vita monster from your deck to your hand, and if a face-up tuner you control is destroyed by battle or card effect while this card is in your graveyard, and Visa Starfrost is on the field, you can banish this card, then target one of those destroyed monsters and add it to your hand. I don't think this is very good. I mean, to be fair, it's Aurora for the Vitas, but there's 2 Vitas, and both of them are kind of terrible. Like, one of them searches Clear New World, which is also a mid card, and then we have this guy. So I don't really think it's going to be that crazy. And the other spell is Planetary Eulogy, is a quick play that says you can only use each effect of it once per turn. Target 1 monster you control and an effect monster your opponent controls. Destroy that monster you control, and if you do, negate that opponent's monster's effects until the end of the turn. Then, if Visa Starfrost is on the field, you can destroy the targeted monster. During your main phase, if a Vita monster card is on the field, you can banish this card from your graveyard and destroy 1 monster you control. I don't know why they're trying to force this Vita stuff if the Vitas aren't going to be good. Like, the first effect is actually pretty nice. Like, this is just an archetypal imperm that also triggers some of your pop effects, and it can help you float, kind of like a Yang Zhang style thing. So I could see this card definitely being played as, like, maybe a one-of, in order to search it off of, like, all of your things that add Visas back row. But other than that, like, the second effect is just kind of terrible. For the first trap, we have Sarga. This is a normal trap that says you can only use each effect of it once per turn. If Visas is on the field, target one effect monster on the field, shuffle that target into the deck, and if you do during the end phase of this turn, you can add one monster from your deck to your hand with a different type and a lower level than the shuffled monster's level, rank, or link rating. Also, if a Vita monster is special summoned while this card's in your grave, you can add it to your hand. Ignoring the second effect because the Vitas are awful, the first effect is actually pretty nice. It's just a targeting shuffle removal that also gets you a search for follow-up during the end phase. I can absolutely see this being played as well, similar to Planetary Eulogy. Probably not both in the same build, probably this one over that. Yeah, I actually really like this as a removal card. And finally, we have Loka Samsara. This is a normal trap that also says you can only use each effect once per turn. Banish one face-up Visas you control until the end phase. Special summon one heart monster with 3000 attack from your extra deck, ignoring its summoning conditions, but can only activate its effects once. Also banish it face down during the end phase. Also, if your opponent special summons a monster from the extra deck while this card's in your graveyard, you can add this card to your hand. I'm not sure how to feel about this. So I can see the point. The point is that if you get hit by something that stops you, or like you kind of brick a little bit, you can use Visas to go into either Kaleido Heart and then get a shuffle, or yeah, it's a shuffle for a Kaleido Heart. I gotta read all of them again. You can get a Prime Heart, which to be fair doesn't really do anything. You can get an Arise Heart, which could be really nasty, or you could even get a Tri-Heart, which, yeah, it says ignoring summoning conditions, so a Tri-Heart could also not be too bad. But the problem with that is that if you're using it in case you brick, you could have just drawn an extender instead of this card. I do like that the second effect doesn't involve the stupid Vita stuff, but it actually just kind of gets you back for free. But I'm not sure that it's good enough to warrant playing it when you could just have Sarga as a disruption instead. And that's going to do it for this wave of Visas cards. I think some of these cards are really, really good. Some of them are absolutely terrible, and some of them are just so-so. So Visas Samsara is actually a really good card that I can see seeing play in Scareclaw, Mannadium, etc. Vita banished, whatever you want to call it, the stupid new Vita guy. This guy sucks. It really does suck. I mean, like, why would you play this? It's so bad. Mannadium trila-sukta is actually really, really good now that I look back onto it. And then Planetary Elegy, it adds Vita, so it doesn't do anything. Planetary Eulogy is actually a decent disruption, as well as Sarga. And Loka Samsara can probably see play as a one-of, but I really don't think that there's a point in playing this over anything else. But I don't know, that's just my opinion. Let me know yours in the comments below, because that's going to do it for the video. If you liked it, please leave a like, as I'll split this video and the channel into to recommend it. And if you like this content and you see more like it, like the rest of my review series, then perhaps consider subscribing, because we're on the road to 5,000 subscribers by the end of 2023. Not to mention, it supports the channel more than anything else, and it's absolutely free. Also, if you want to support me directly and get some awesome TCG merchandise in the process, check out Tapio cards in the link in the description. Use code Aurora5 at checkout for 5% off, as well as support me financially. But once again, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. This is Aurora, signing off.